Hey guys, welcome to another video from Startup Channel. If you're watching this video, that means you're either thinking of starting your own business or have already started. In any case, I hope you find the following information useful. Today we're going to discuss the top 10 reasons why 90% of the startups fail. This list is taken from CB Insights analysis of more than 200 failed companies. The full report contains 20 reasons, but here we are going to discuss the top 10 most significant reasons from this study. If you still want to go through the report, there's a link in the description. So let's get started. Number 1. No market need was cited as the number one reason for failure in 42% of the cases. That's almost 50% of failed businesses. Too many founders think that their idea is so brilliant that their best course of action is to build the product, show it to the world, and wait for the money to roll in. However, that common delusion is a major startup killer. A major reason why companies fail is that they run into the problem of there being little or no market for the product that they have built. Building a solution looking for a problem. Basically, that's not targeting a market need. Startups tackling problems that are interesting to solve rather than those that serve a market need. As you have noticed, that the main reason for this is due to poor market research before coming out with a product. With a little research and advice from the right people, this problem is totally avoidable. Number 2, the second major reason that startups fail is because they run out of cash. 29% of the startups cited running out of cash as the reason for their failure. So why do startups run out of cash? Where startups often fail is not having a proper plan in place about how many people they need to hire. When is the right time and which teams should be invested in at the first stage? Startups run out of resources also, usually do so because the founders don't want to give up a piece of the pie. The budget were not planned properly, the burn rate was too high, or it just took longer to raise the first round than initially expected. Number 3, not the right team. A diverse team with different skill set was often cited as being critical to the success of starting a company. An incredibly common problem that causes startups to fail is a weak management team. Weak management teams make mistakes in multiple areas. They are often weak on strategy, building a product that no one wants to buy, as they fail to do enough work to validate the idea before and during the development. Number 4, got outcompeted. Where startups go wrong is believing that they are the only ones with the great idea and going out there without proper competitor research. Ignoring the competition is a recipe for disaster, at least in 19% of the startup failures. As Peter Thiel suggests, ask yourself what you're doing that no one else is doing. Or if someone is not doing it well enough, what are you doing differently to win the market? Number 5, pricing cost issues. Pricing is a dark art when it comes to startup success, and startup postmortems highlight the difficulty in pricing a product that isn't too high or too low to make money in context of the particular cost of a company. If your price is too expensive and you're not delivering what customers are expecting, you will end up having frustrated customers. And on the other hand, if your price is too low, you will not be able to cover your expenses. For many failed startups, this was one of their main reasons of failure. Number 6, a user-unfriendly product, or we could say poor product. Bad things happen when you ignore a user's wants and needs, whether done consciously or accidentally. The startup that cited this reason for their failure said that the reason was that their product was too difficult to use or very complicated for the users to get. Number 7, lack of business model. Entrepreneurs are too optimistic about how easy it will be to acquire customers. They assume that because they will build an interesting website, product, or a service, the customers will be the path to their door. That may happen with the first few customers, but after that, it rapidly becomes an expensive task to attract and win customers. And in many cases, the cost of acquiring the customer is actually higher than the lifetime value of that customer. Number 8, poor marketing. Knowing your target audience and knowing how to get their attention and convert them to leads and ultimately customers is one of the most important skills of a successful business. The inability to market basically was a function of founders who like to code or build products, but who didn't relish the idea of promoting the product. In the beginning, in the initial period of time, the number of customers, users basically grows systematically. Then companies hit the ceiling of what they could achieve effortlessly. that's the time to do some marketing. Unfortunately, most of the startups, especially tech startups, are not skilled in that area. Even worse, not many have enough time to fill that gap. Of 14% startups that failed, they wish they had addressed this issue sooner. Number 9, ignoring customers. Being inflexible and not actively seeking or using customer feedback is a tried and true way to fail. Tunnel vision and not gathering user feedback are fatal flaws for most startups. For instance, eCrowds, a web content management system company, said that we spend way too much time building it for ourselves and not getting feedback from prospects. It's easy to get tunnel vision. Startups don't spend enough time talking with customers and are rolling out features that they think are great, but they don't gather enough input from clients. They don't realize it until it's too late. It's easy to get tricked into thinking your thing is cool. You have to pay attention to your customers and adapt to their needs. At the end of the day, it's them who will use your product. Number 10, wrong timing. There's an old saying in startups, being early is the same as being wrong. And it's true. For every successful startup you can name, there's someone who tried it before and failed. Sometimes they failed on their own, but often they failed because they were just too early. If you release your product too early, users may write it off as not good enough, and getting them back may be difficult if their first impression of you was negative. And if you release your product too late, you may have missed your window of opportunity in the market. Remember AskJeeves.com? It actually included many of the techniques that later made their way into Google, like semantic search and even ranking web pages by hyperlinks, which is Google's secret sauce, And then the other company, Go Corporation, was one of the most well-funded startups of the time, with a mobile operating system and a mobile pen-based computers that were surprisingly good. It was a forerunner to the runaway success of the Palm Pilot, and in many ways of later touch-based computing devices like the iPhone or the iPad. Problem was, it was just too ahead of its time. If you have noticed, all of the reasons that we discussed for failure are business and team-related issues, even the ones that relate to the product. Issues like these are always tied to the leadership and the leader's ability to build a strong team and drive a business model and business thought process and discipline. So guys, this was our list of reasons why most startups fail. Please do let us know what you think in the comment section below, and if you have your own experiences to share, please do so. Don't forget to hit the like button if you liked the video, and see you guys in the next video.